Hello everyone, this is Mo Dabbas from Tech Canada, and today I want to give you a review of the Blackberry Playbook. Now, the Blackberry Playbook was released in April of 2011, and unfortunately the Canadian manufacturer did not have any success with the Playbook, and as a result we can see the prices were the prices were discounted by approximately $300. So with a starting price of $199.99, and still many are wondering whether it's worth it to buy the BlackBerry Playbook at this discounted prices, or whether to wait for other alternatives that are coming out soon, especially when CES is coming up next week, and a lot of new devices are going to be announced at CES. So hopefully this review is going to give you is going to help you decide whether to buy the BlackBerry Playbook or not. So I will start with the hardware, and you can see at the top of the BlackBerry Playbook you get the volume rocker right here, and in the middle there's a play and pause button, and to the left you get the power button, and right here to the right there's a 3.5mm headphone jack and two microphones, I believe, right here, one right here and one right here to the left. The right and left of the device you get a clean finish. There isn't any buttons, there isn't any ports or anything, and at the bottom you get all the ports. You get a micro HDMI out port, you get a micro USB port, and you get what seems to be a proprietary port, which I believe was designed for other accessories that RIM was probably planning to release afterwards with the Playbook. Unfortunately, that wasn't. We didn't see any of the accessories with the Playbook. Front of the device you get a 3.0 megapixel camera, and at the back you get a 5.0 megapixel camera. Now the build quality of the BlackBerry Playbook is excellent. There's a beautiful matte plastic finish. The screen, it's a 7-inch screen. It's very beautiful, it's very vivid, and even compared to many other tablets out there, 7-inch tablets, it outperforms them when it comes to the color reproduction and the viewing angles. For example, I have right here the Acer Iconia tab, and I'll put the two devices side by side, and you can see the colors of the Playbook. They're more vivid, the brightness is higher, and if you're using both devices you can see, I'll try to show it right here in this video, but you can see that the viewing angles of the BlackBerry Playbook are way excellent compared to the Acer Iconia. So, and of course the device is running it's running on the TIO map 1 GHz dual core processor. So we can tell that when it comes to hardware, the Playbook has excellent hardware. And up front you get two speaker grills. You get one to the right here and one to the left right here. And when I was using the Playbook, the sound quality of these two speakers is excellent. It's very high, it's very clear. So you can see that the Playbook has excellent hardware. However, that was not the reason why the Playbook did not have any success. Of course, the main reason was the lack of a native email app, and the other reason is the lack of apps in the app port, in the BlackBerry app port. Now, BlackBerry promised that they're going to release the apps from the Android market. Unfortunately, so far we haven't seen anything, and BlackBerry and RIM keeps on extending the date of releasing the Android market to the Playbook, uh, uh, and I think now the promised date is during February, I think. So when you look at the software of the BlackBerry Playbook, it's very similar to what you get from BlackBerry devices, of course, and uh, with the OS 6 and OS 7, and the software is very snappy. It's very intuitive to use. It's simple. It's not complicated at all. And on top of that, if you're familiar with WebOS, you're gonna notice that the interface resembles WebOS in a way. For example, if you open an app, let's open the browser, for example, you can see it opens the app, and if you want to go to the menus, you just swipe downwards, and if you want to go to the home screen, you just swipe downwards from the bottom to top, and you get all of your applications again. You can open another applications afterwards, and so on. So it's very intuitive. It's very easy to use. And if you want to get rid of this application, for example, of the camera, you just swipe the application from, or you just press on the X, or you can just swipe it upwards. So back to the browser. I'll be talking a bit about the browser, since for tablet owners, the browser is one of the main things you're going to use the tablet for, browsing the internet and looking at websites when you're on the go. So let's go, for example, to Engadget, and of course the browser supports Flash. It's a good browser. However, compared to iOS or Android Honeycomb browser, it's kind of a bit laggy. You can see sometimes it just becomes irresponsive. As you can see right now, it just opened a page, even though I was trying just to scroll. And that happens in many situations. It's not only right now because I'm reviewing it. It happens a lot while using the tablet. It's not as snappy as iOS. It's not as, let's say, refined as iOS, and it's not as fast. It's not as Honeycomb web browser. So, and one of the other things that I found annoying in this tablet is, in many cases, when I'm scrolling down, I accidentally go back to the home button, to the home screen, because I swipe a bit lower from the bezel by mistake, and that's kind of annoying. You can see I've done it so far twice by mistake. So it might be minor things, but when you're using the tablet on a daily basis, it's gonna be frustrating at one point. So the browser, it's not as fast. I'll try to put it in portrait. Okay. I'll try to put it. I put it in portrait just to show the pinch to zoom. You can see it's not as fast as Android browser. You can see you get some, or iOS browser. You can see you get some checker marks if you're doing fast browsing, or fast pinch to zooming, or fast scrolling. And that's one of the reasons that I think people did not like the Playbook. It's that even the browser was not as refined as iOS or Honeycomb tablets. So, however, it's still a decent browser. It runs Flash. So, if you're into a cheap tablet, you might just live with the fact that it's not as refined. Along with the web browser performance and the absence of an email client application, the BlackBerry Playbook suffers from the lack of apps in general. The BlackBerry app world does not have a lot of applications that are usually found in Android or iOS devices, or even on your regular computer. So, for example, many tablet owners they use the tablet to view to stream videos using Netflix, for example, or Hulu Plus, and you cannot find any of these two in the BlackBerry app world. I'll show you. Or for example, many of us actually use the tablet for video chatting, and that as well. You cannot find, for example, Skype, which is one of the most widely used applications for video chatting. You cannot find. I'm not sure about Pandora for streaming music, but you can see um, you cannot find Skype, you cannot find Netflix, you cannot find Hulu. So many of the applications that are usually very popular in Android or iOS devices, they're not found in the BlackBerry app world, and that for many users it kind of ruins the experience of the operating system, because there aren't so many apps to download. You um, there are most of the apps. For example, for Skype, uh, when you type Skype, they give you the relevant apps, and I'm not really sure whether a lot of you know the Comwave ePhone, for example, right here, or the other apps that are available in the BlackBerry app world. So there, and especially the Skype, it's a very applications like Skype are very widely used these days. So that kind of one of the reasons the BlackBerry Playbook it's not as popular as iOS devices or Android for that matter. Another reason is that the app world, most of the apps are paid, even though in many cases they're not as refined as iOS devices. They're more expensive in many cases, and in general, if you can't get an app for less for cheaper price or so on, of course you'll go to a device that carries apps with that are more abundant and that are cheaper. Of course, that's very natural. So that's one of the other reasons that the BlackBerry Playbook is not facing a lot of success when it was released. Now, of course, there's Video Chat, which is a video chat client between all BlackBerry Playbook users. But I'll be honest with you, I haven't seen a lot of BlackBerry Playbook users, so I doubt if you bought a BlackBerry Playbook, you'll be able to use the Video Chat app with a lot of people. And of course, that Video Chat does not cannot take over the space of Skype, which is a universal app. Which is a universal app which is available for computers, Android devices, and iOS devices. And when we move to the camera, I tried the camera for a bit, and unfortunately, I couldn't find uh, I couldn't find it that great. Now I know most of us won't use their tablet to capture pictures, but still, it's nice since there's a camera. It's a 5 megapixel camera. It's nicer to have a camera that you can rely on in case you don't have your phone. However, the pictures are kind of blurry, and I'm not sure if it shows on the video. It's kind of blurry, and in many cases, there is no autofocus for it, so it just takes the picture right away. It does not autofocus it before it takes the picture, and of course there's zoom, and there's you can flip it to the front-facing camera, which is a 3 megapixel camera. Um, but still, the camera quality is not that great, and you can shoot. I think it's 720p resolution. Yeah, you can shoot up to 1080p resolution videos. However, it's the same thing if you don't get uh, you cannot get autofocus, so it's not it's kind of useless to have since there isn't any focus in many of the videos or pictures you're gonna capture. The last thing I want to demonstrate before ending up this review is as I promised before, I'll try to demonstrate the sound quality from the two speakers right here. And in order to do so, I'll just open this video that is preloaded on every Blackberry Playbook. And actually, when I'm gonna play the video, hopefully it's gonna show on the camera, but it doesn't only show the great sound quality of the Blackberry Playbook, but also the screen quality. You're gonna notice the colors are very vivid and colorful. And here we go. I'll just turn the volume to the max. I think that's enough for I really hope it showed the screen quality and the sound quality, but if it didn't, I can guarantee you it's excellent. The screen quality is excellent, as well as the sound quality coming out from the Blackberry Playbook. So to sum things up, I think the hardware of the Blackberry Playbook is excellent. They have excellent screen. It has an excellent screen. It has a fast processor. It has it's really well built, and unfortunately, it's just the hardware. It's just the software and the lack of apps is the main killers for the Blackberry Playbook. There isn't much apps to download in any way for free. Most of the apps are paid, and on top of that, many of the main apps like Skype or Netflix are not even available on the Blackberry Playbook. So that's a very important factor if you're looking for a tablet, especially that a tablet runs a separate operating system that is completely different from a computer or a Mac operating system. It's a standalone operating system, so apps take a place of many of the softwares that are available on computers, PCs, or Macs, and that's why if a tablet with its operating system does not have a lot of apps, then it's a huge drawback. Now, and if I'm looking for a tablet, would I buy this one for $199? I'll be honest with you, I wouldn't. I would wait. I would wait further, especially that the decision for the Blackberry Playbook, whether RIM is going to continue on supporting it, or if they're going to produce another Blackberry Playbook in the future, is very unclear at the moment, since the company is not doing that great. And in the end, if of course this decision might be different from one person to another. I don't have a Blackberry phone at the moment, so I cannot connect my Blackberry phone with the Blackberry Playbook to sync my email and BBM and so on. And for some, it might be a huge factor if you have a BlackBerry with you when you want to buy a tablet. So this is Mo Dabbas from Alltech Canada, and I really hope you enjoyed watching this video. If you have any comments, you can email us at alltechcanada@gmail.com, or you can leave your comment in the site below. Thank you.